I'm Tony Massey. Recently I posted a video on TikTok that got an overwhelming response, over 1 million views. And basically what I did was use an illustration to show how manipulators and controlling people work. If you haven't seen it yet, check it out. This is how manipulation and control works. Warning, this can be a little triggering. This is a banana. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Stop calling it that. It's a banana. Look, the only reason that you think that this is not a banana is because no one ever really taught you what a banana is, and that's what I'm trying to teach you. No, it isn't. See, someone has told you that and you believe them, but you can't believe me. Why can't you trust me? I'm telling you that it's a banana. I don't care what you think or what you see. It's a banana. You can't trust me? You can't trust me that this is a banana? You know what? You are psycho. There's something wrong with you. You see, what the manipulator and controlling person does once they realize you're not stupid is they go out of their way to make you believe that you're crazy. So I wasn't expecting or even prepared for the response that I got from that video, and I won't lie, it was a little overwhelming. I think the most concerning part for me was how many people were affected by the video. I posted it along with my other relationship style videos just as a kind of a warning, just to show how these people operate, how they will literally try to convince you of something that they know is not true, and then when you resort to calling you crazy. And the idea being that you're now questioning your own sanity. To everyone who commented on the video, who liked and shared the video, and people who did duets with the video, I want to say thank you. Thank you for blowing this thing up to bring more awareness to it, because I think there's not enough awareness. Now, I did want to kind of do a part 2, if you will, and I chose this platform because I could take my time and not have to be rushed to do it in under 60 seconds. There's 3 things about the video that I really want you to notice, and that I did it on purpose, so that if you're ever in this situation, you can pick up on these things. When someone is trying to manipulate you or trying to control you, the first thing they do is try to control the narrative, and that's exactly what I did. Now, if you notice, at no point did I ever say the word apple. Never did. I kept saying the word banana over and over and over again. And the funny part is that there were people who showed how they argued with me, and they kept saying, it's an apple, it's an apple, it's an apple. And so by design, I never used the word apple, because by doing so, I am now validating your argument. You see, I'm not even going to give you enough validation to even use the word that you're using, because I want you to accept my truth. And that's my way of literally separating you from what you know is true, so that you can accept what I'm saying. The other thing that I did was I never allowed the idea of this apple being an apple to be your decision. If you notice, I said someone told you that this was an apple and you believed them. And now I'm telling you that it's a banana, but you won't believe me. So this isn't about what you know, this is about what you've been told. So essentially what I'm doing is I'm not challenging what you know, what you think. I'm forcing you to make a decision between me and whoever told you that this was an apple or not a banana. So I'm pitting you against those people and me. Now you have to make a decision. Who do you trust? You're not in the equation. At least not your knowledge of what type of fruit this is. And this is what a manipulator does. And of course, you know, it's easy to argue with a perfect stranger and shut down and scream and all this other stuff. But when you imagine that this is someone that you love, or someone that says they love you, then it's not even about the fruit or whatever they're saying. It's about them saying, who do you love more? Who do you trust more? And to solidify this and to to really go in, they'll start challenging the love that you have for the people who told you the alternative idea that you're expressing. So, in other words, if it's someone you're in a relationship with, they'll say your friends told you that. Well, your friends can't be trusted, and then they'll start listing all of the reasons you can't trust your friends. Or if it's a parent that's doing it, which I was shocked at how many people admitted that their parents had done this, then again, they'll start attacking those social circles and make it so that you can only trust the person that's speaking. And again, that's by design. The last thing I did was, and this was the huge trigger for most people, is once I realized that you were not going to accept my truth and abandon yours, then I attacked you in the most vulnerable place that I could, your sanity. I went after your mind. I went after the idea that you know your truth. Since I couldn't separate you from that truth, I challenged the validity of it by challenging whether or not you can come up with a truth like that on your own and trust it. This is a classic move. You see, once I get you to the point where you start to feel like you can't trust your own mind, then you have no choice but to trust me in every single situation. If you saw something, a text message, a conversation, you heard a conversation, you saw me at a bar or at a hotel or something like that, and I'm telling you that you cannot trust your own eyes, you cannot trust your own ears, all of your senses are failing you. You have to trust me. Now that's a very hard pill to swallow, and it's a very difficult undertaking unless I convince you beyond all shadow of doubt that you're not sane. And once I get you to the point where I start convincing you to question reality as you know it, then I can convince you of anything. Now, one thing that I want to make clear, I saw a lot of comments from people who were saying, I'm too strong for this, or, I'm too smart for this. Again, arguing with a guy that you've never met before about whether or not a piece of fruit is an apple or a banana, that doesn't take a lot of strength, especially since you're arguing with the screen on your phone. But imagine that this is someone in a position of authority in your life, or someone that you've given authority through love. It's a lot harder. And it's not something that happens, boom, right out the gate. It's slow. It's Chinese water torture. It's that slow drip separating you from what you know is real and what you think could be real. It starts off with something really small. Just this thought, you look in the mirror and you like the way you look, and then they challenge it. You have a friend that you've always trusted and never had a problem with, and they challenge it. They start to compare your life to what is ideal. And at some point, you start to accept this reality because it's benign. It's not a big deal until it is. So, what do? How do you handle a situation where you are being manipulated? You're being controlled? Well, I wish I had a definitive answer. Honestly, I don't, but I will give you some tips. Number one, seek therapy. I'm not a licensed therapist, but I do believe in the validity of therapy. I believe you need a third party who has no vested interest and who is trained to help you see reality for what it is. Do not abandon your truth. Trust yourself. Trust what you think, trust what you see, trust what you hear, and don't allow anyone to question your truth. If you are going to reach out to someone and ask for help, make sure that this is someone that you can trust, not someone who's on your side, someone you can trust. Because sometimes things aren't what they appear to be. That's a real thing. But when you know that you know, even without empirical evidence, you know that you know something isn't right, trust that. You deserve it. Some people kept telling me, you could not convince me that this was a banana. I kept saying apple, 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 apple. So I win. Not really. The only way to win a game with a manipulator, a narcissist, or someone who's controlling is to not play. If you kept insisting that this is an apple over and over and over again, that I already pulled you into a game that you can't win. Speak your truth and then walk away. Disengage. Get out of the conversation if you can. Because the longer you listen to it, the more you doubt yourself, and the more that stuff starts to make sense. Finally, I would say seek autonomy. And what I mean by that is the concept of control is this idea that you can't be on your own, whether it's financial, emotional, physically, whatever. The idea that you can't be alone because I won't allow you to is my method of control. Now, I know it's hard if you're a teenager and you're living with your parents, or maybe you're in a relationship with someone who controls all the money and all. I get it. So that's why I'm saying, I'm not suggesting that you pack your stuff in the middle of the night and leave. I'm saying seek autonomy. Seek opportunities for autonomy. You got to get out of that situation. One thing that someone who has the ability to manipulate you will do is weaponize your vulnerability. They'll use your love against you. Loving someone is one thing. Tolerating abuse is something totally different. You can love someone and not allow them into your safe spaces, into your sacred spaces. Doesn't mean you don't love them. It means that you love yourself enough to protect you. And at the end of the day, that should be your number one priority. Self-protection, self-perseverance. Again, I cannot reiterate the importance of getting help. I would be remiss if I didn't make it very clear that this is abuse. And you have to get therapy. Even if you get out of the situation, seek therapy. And this is not a form of punishment. Don't start punishing yourself for being in this situation. You just need to re-equip yourself with your own truth. Get to the point where you can start trusting your own voice again. And I promise you things will get better. For those of you I triggered with that video, I'm so sorry. But I just felt like the truth needed to be heard. Manipulation is it's a horrible thing. And I wish that no one wanted to manipulate someone just to get what they want or need out of them. But one thing that I've learned in life is that hurt people hurt people. So sometimes it's not even about being malicious. Sometimes the most devious acts are performed by people who are victims themselves. That's not an excuse. It's just a reality. I encourage you to continue watching those videos. I love creating them. I love putting them up there. Follow me here on Tony Massey Cooks. I do more than this type of videos. I also cook. And follow me on IG, Tony Massey Cooks. And if you're still on TikTok, follow me there too, Tony Massey Cooks. I look forward to talking to you. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below and send them to my DM. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.